Death has knocked on my door 4 times and I'm still here. I was working as a vice president at one of the largest banks in the country. Myself and many other women who were also executives gathered our teams together to provide a women's power conference at the Omni Hotel on California Street in San Francisco, California. Women came from near and far, and went from one booth to another exchanging resources and ideas. Our guest list of speakers included Iyanla Vanzant and Dr. Rose. Many beautiful colors flowed through the room. There were sisters covered in hijab conversing with sisters dressed in designs from Tory Burch. Self-employed mothers giving advice to those who were looking to begin a business of their own. It was a vibration, a synergy in the air that I had never felt before. The main event was due to begin in 15 minutes, and I began conversing with the daughter of the founder of Marcus Bookstores, one of the oldest black bookstores in the Bay Area. She had an aura around her that read tranquility. She was thin in build and her hair consisted of salt and pepper locks that streamed down her back. In speaking to her, I grew excited about her vast understanding of the universe. She spoke of planets yet to be discovered and the beauty and power we carry as Neguses and Kentakes. She was anointed with knowledge. I thanked her and began escorting our guest into the main ballroom. As we stood, Iyanla entered the room as Living My Life Likes It Golden by Jill Scott began to play. The words of the song seemed to resonate with each step that she took toward the podium. All of the speakers shared their wisdom and enlightened the hearts of all who were present that day. After thanking all of our guests, myself and the 8 other VPs sat down for a celebratory lunch at the steakhouse inside the hotel. I had another event I had to attend that evening and steak was on the menu. I ordered a roasted chicken sandwich. After ordering our food, the senior executive vice president thanked everyone for their participation. It was a successful event. While we ate our meal, we shared stories of success and failures of running highly effective, productive sales team. I was having a great time and didn't want to leave but knew I only had a few hours to prepare for the next event. I excused myself and walked through the lobby of the hotel to valet and handed my ticket to the attendant to retrieve my car. When my car arrived, the valet handed me my keys, I gave him a tip, and I headed to the Bay Bridge. As I drove down Battery Street to Bush, I noticed my throat began to itch. There was some construction going on at the stoplight. I attributed my itchy throat to whatever particles may have been floating in the air and I closed my sunroof. By the time I got onto the Bay Bridge, my lips, eyes and throat began swelling rapidly. I recognized these symptoms and thought to myself, I'm ucked, I just got on the Bay Bridge and I'm having an allergic reaction. Peanut butter had been my kryptonite since birth. I panicked and I hit the pedal. I kept saying to myself, I have to make it to the nearest hospital. A voice said Kaiser, Broadway, Oakland. It was approximately 10 miles away from where I was located on the bridge. I kept driving as fast as I could, weaving in and out of traffic. Foot to the metal, praying, please no traffic, it's Saturday, please no traffic, I can't die on the Bay Bridge, my son is only 2. When I exited the freeway, my third eye opened and took over my vision. It was like looking through a movie projector from the middle of my forehead. My third eye, my compass directing me the rest of the way to the emergency room. What was strange, I knew when to stop at the red light and how close in proximity the car in front of me had been. I kept praying, please, I have to see my baby smile one more time, please God. When I approached the emergency room, my third eye guided me into the ambulance entrance of the hospital. I jumped out of the car and ran into the emergency room, leaving keys, purse, and the engine running. I was met by a male nurse who asked, who drove you here? I said I did. He responded, impossible. I told him my car is running and my purse is in my car. The only thing I could see was his eyes that appeared on my projector. He had laid me on a gurney and ran me into an empty room. A new doctor or nurse seemed to join the team every few seconds. One person began attaching white patches to my chest and I felt several shots being injected into my thigh. The hospital had gone through my cell phone and contacted a good friend of mine who called my fiancé. When I woke up the next day, my doctor explained to me that if I had arrived to the emergency room 2 minutes later, I would have died. I had suffered from a severe case of anaphylactic shock. My organs were beginning to shut down from the swelling within. The doctors left the room and my good friend Jeanette had arrived. When she reached my bed, she looks at my face and screams, "Damn!" I asked for a mirror and she responded, "I don't even have one, girl." Later that day, my fiancé tells me that my face was distorted beyond recognition from the swelling. My doctor had me stay in the hospital an additional day to make sure I didn't have a relapse. The swelling was subsiding. On my way home from the hospital, it seemed as if the sun was shining brighter, the trees were greener than I remembered. I looked into my fiancé's green eyes and said thank you. He had been by my side, holding my hand from the time I came out of the emergency room. I took time to peer through the sunroof and appreciate the presence of angels dancing on fluffy white clouds enveloped between the blue sky. When I heard my kids laughing in the back seat of the car, I teared up, for this very moment is pure bliss. Thank you, God.